What's up, guys? Doomwake here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. I hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys are ready for some awesome content here. So what I have for you today is this is actually a tournament that I ran for my Twitch subscribers, and that was essentially the only entry fee. And the theory behind the tournament is, I'm sure you guys have all heard my disdain for the modern format. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but what I wanted to see is I wanted to see what people would come up with if it was the modern format without the Horizon sets. And that was the concept behind what we have for you today, which is called, I'm calling it Pure Modern. Might not be the best name for it, but the idea behind the name kind of came from pre-modern, so it's kind of, you're using the same letters, and you get the idea. But the concept is very simple, modern without Horizon sets, even though if you'll see in the video within the first maybe 10 minutes or so, some people don't know how to follow the rules, but we'll get to that. But yeah, that's pretty simple. I just wanted to see what people would bring to the table, and I was pleasantly surprised with the metagame. This is actually only going to be the first couple of rounds, so the video, it was about 3 hours between, it was six, I think it was 5 rounds Swiss, cut the top 8, so what I did is I did first 4 rounds, and then the 5th round plus top 8 will be in a video either tomorrow or the next day. But that's pretty much it, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this, so I won't make you wait any longer. Let's just get right into it, and let's see what Modern would look like without the Horizon sets. Alright, I know it looks a little scuffed, but... I know it looks a little scuffed. Dude, Spell Snare on Squadron Hawk, we got a turn 1 Serra Ascendant, and then a Spell Snare Squadron Hawked. Looks like we got a turn 2 Delver here. No red mana for Eggy Benny, though. A little unfortunate. Be able to take out this Serra Ascendant. Got Plechow in 21 life. Another Squadron Hawk. No Spell Snare for that one. A little unfortunate. What does this format feel so pure? I know, right? I know. It looks a little scuffed, chat. We're going to figure this in between rounds. I needed Benny to create the feature match. It would have made it a lot easier, because then Benny would have been on the bottom. It would have looked better. So I'm gonna make some announcements after this round. Basically, the feature match, I need the person who I'm featuring to create the match so they're on the bottom. No, it's really difficult for me to screen share both hands. So I know it's a little scuffed, chat, but forgive me. I'm new to this thing. It's a little scuffed. Got no attacks with the Delver, holding back to be able to block the Serra Ascendant, I'm assuming. Still no red mana for Plechow. So no Iteration, no Lightning Bolt, none of that stuff. Let's pop out the graveyards. That look a little bit better. Ooh, a Field of Ruin, which could get Eggy Benny a red source. That's actually pretty good. I don't know if there's a basic mountain. I haven't taken a look at... no basic mountain. You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. See if we can draw a red source. No. Thought Scour to cantrip, though, so we'll see if we can find out the Thought Scour. Still probably holding back the Delver of Secrets to block the Serra Ascendant, most likely. Thought Scour for a red source? Not a red source. Another Thought Scour. That Field of Ruin was actually pretty backbreaking, too, because milled over a Steam Fence, but you could have double cantripped here to look for a red source. Yeah, this is open deckless. So we'll see what Plechow has. We know they got a couple of Squadron Hawks in hand. 2 to be precise, because one got spell snared, the second one resolved. Surprised at Basic Forest. I think it's for Blood Moon for, like, Hooting Mandrills purposes, because Eggy Benny does have Hooting Mandrills, but... Ravdern, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. You know what, let's do? I got an idea. Let's do this. I'm going to add a black background so that we can get rid of, like, all this extra stuff at top. I think it's going to look good. One second, chat. I know it looks a little scuffed right now, but... And then we're going to go... Color block under window capture. Look at that. There you go. Okay, let's do this. I don't know what Benny's doing over there. There we go. That looks a lot better, right? That looks a lot better. You know what? Let's even do this. We could even go a little bit farther. We could even go all the way over here. Yeah. I like that. That looks a lot better. And then I also have this thing. No, not that. New folder. Also have that as well. Which I guess we have to move this. But I have this set up as well. There we go. Look at that. Alright, what did I miss? Still no red mana for Benny. We got a Snapcaster. We can Snapcaster a Thought Scour to cantrip for red mana. We can Stubborn Denial something. I cast a Lava Dart. Isn't that on the set? Corey, come on, Corey, no! It's not! The concept is not hard, chat. Chat, you... Come on. No, Lava Dart's not legal. Yeah, because it was freeform. I have to make up the format! And the format doesn't exist on Moto! The rules were in the fucking tournament, Corey. Come on! It even specifically said reprints are not legal. I can't. I can't. Magic players in reading. Swart was like an 8th edition. It was not. How many rounds? 5 rounds, Timu. 5 rounds. Round 1 and a DQ. Cited it out, replace it with Mountain. Okay, alright. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, the thing about it is because it's a new format, I can't like specifically make a format on MTG Melee, so it's going to let you submit Lava Dart because whether I do freeform or modern, I can't like pick the format. I can't say like this card's banned and you know what I mean in Melee. So it's going to let you submit that, but it's a game lost and the deck list needs to be altered to have basics instead of darts. Yeah, that would be my recommendation, Corey. If you could just cut the darts for basics moving forward, that'd be dope. What do we miss here? Pleachow's at 35, by the way. It's a lot of life. Yeah, Lava Axe was an 8th. You could play some Lava Axes. Alright, we finally have red mana on turn 7, by the way. Bolting the Stoneforge. What did we fetch with the Stoneforge? I missed that. We fetched a Sword of Fire and Ice. That's good against the Delver deck. When did Stoneforge get banned? Stoneforge got banned a long time ago. Benny missed a huge blowout. What happened? This game seems a little rough for our Delver player here, though. Spectating both players? No, I'm spectating both players, but only one player is screen sharing their hand because it's impossible for me to do it on one Discord call, and it's too much of a hassle to like go back and forth between separate Discord calls. It's too much of a pain in the ass. So what we're doing is feature matches. We're going to have one person share their screen, and that's the person that we're going to show on the match. All right, we've had enough. Well, we got is that a Disrupting Shoal, chat? Is that a Disrupting Shoal I see? I spy a Disrupting Shoal in Eggy Benny's hand. What's the ban list? There's no ban list. Just Modern Horizons. Alright, we also have red mana this game, which is pretty good. We're going to start off with a cantrip here. Maybe play a turn 2 Tarmogoyf, hold up Disrupting Shoal. That's a Blood Moon. Kind of surprised that Eggy Benny kept those in. You know, against the mono white deck. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of stuff there, but I guess it shuts off stuff like Emeria and things of that nature, so maybe not too bad. We're firing off a path, which is going to get shoaled. Now, kind of awkward that we have this forest because we can't cast this expressive iteration, so You know, I understand you want to fetch the forest because of the Blood Moon, but I wonder if it's better to just get a dual land there so you can cast the Expressive Iteration. We got a Stoneforge, which fetched a Batterskull. We do have the answer for the Stoneforge. Doesn't want to get greedy and cast Consider first. Makes a lot of sense. Slam in here with the Tarmogoyf. Get Pleach on a little bit of a clock. Didn't fetch it. Oh, right. Yeah, he had Scalding Tarn Forest. Okay, you're right. Yeah, Scalding Tarn Forest. Yeah, could have also let the Path resolve to get a second basic. That might have been good. Squadron doing Squadron things, and then Martyr of Sands. This seems like a rough matchup for Eggy Benny. Unfortunate pairing. I do like Benny's deck quite a bit. It's a really sweet deck, but kind of a tough pairing. So we have the option to play Blood Moon, which cuts us off blue mana. I don't think we're doing that. You can play Iteration, but there's not really anything you can hit other than Hooting Mandrill, so you probably want to save the Iteration for a turn, which looks like Benny is going to do, which does make sense. We got Pleach out down to 12, but with the Martyr of Sands, that's going to boost the life total up quite a bit. And with Pleach out having 7 cards, very likely to be able to gain quite a bit off of this Martyr of Sands. Drew a Stubborn Denial off of the Consider, not exactly what we're looking for. Gonna go ahead and pluck in there for 2. Go to 15. That is a Mistveil Plains. What is that one? I forget which this one does. This is the one that puts cards in the bottom. 2 or more white permanents. Okay. So that can recycle your Squadron Hawks. Disrupting Shoal. A little late to the party. Would have liked that a turn ago to be able to pitch the stub. Putting a stub in hand, that's not what we want. Misty entered the Exile Zone. Yeah, this one's looking tough for Eggy Benny here, our hero with the Delver deck. Yeah, trying to race Martyr does not seem like a winning line, but, you know, I mean, Eggy just doesn't really have any other options, you know? There's just not a lot of stuff going on. Stubborn Denial is probably not doing much. Guess you can Disrupting Shoal, pitch Stub to counter a second Martyr of Sands, but, you know, the work's kind of already done at this point. Tough spot. Very, very tough spot. Thank you, Longshan. Weird how Stoneforge is legal, but Dart isn't when Stoneforge became legal after Dart did. Stoneforge is not in a Modern Horizons set. I tried to make this as easy as possible, Chad. It's literally Modern... 3 words. Modern without Horizons. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is, chat. I don't know how much easier I can make this. Alright, we got a Blood Moon, which is going to shut off the Mistveil Plains potential. Shuts off the Field of Ruin. Also shuts off potential top deck. What's that card called? Emiria's? Could be something worth noting. Still have this Martyr up though. We got a lot of cards in hand, so. Thank you, Care Bear. Thank you. There's a lot of people in chat going on, and I'm trying to compensate, so I appreciate the mods doing mod things. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Care Bear. I'm trying to pay attention to the game. There's not a lot going on here, though. This is kind of rough for Eggy Benny here. So we're going to start with the Martyr of Sands. We revealed Wrath of God, Squadron Hawk, Ranger of Eos, Day of Judgment, and Squadron Hawk. So now we have to fight through 2 Wraths. This is going to be tough. I guess we get to stub the first Wrath. Oh, we're not going to go for a Wrath. We're going for Ranger. I guess that makes sense. We're just racing this Tarmogoyf straight up. So this is going to get more Martyrs. Probably not going to cast a Martyr once the player on a Bolt. But yeah, this is looking rough for Eggy Benny, our Delver player. Attack with Tarmogoyf. Yeah, okay, so we did see Pleach Chow not play the Martyr of Sands. Does make a lot of sense. Second copy of Tarmogoyf, not bad, but probably not going to be able to race this. Now, if you're if you're Eggy Benny, do you shoal the Martyr? I mean, I guess you do, but he got a second Martyr, right? Oh, we're just leading on chop down. Yeah, that's tough. You can't shoal that, unfortunately. We can stub it, though. So we can stub the chop down, and we got a second Martyr. Can't shoal that, though. That's unfortunate. And that gets a Sword of Fire and Ice. So I guess if you draw a second basic island, you can hardcast the shoal on the sword. Or if you maybe draw a 3-drop. But yeah, it's looking kind of rough here. Just running out the Martyr. Interesting. Yeah, that's... this Blood Moon kind of screwing us here. I mean, you know, I understand the consideration to bring in Blood Moon for Emeria, but I don't know, maybe it's worth it. Just, like, kind of unfortunate that it cut us off casting the shoal, because maybe would have been able to shoal... I guess you still couldn't shoal the sword. Yeah, because you have Stoneforge Mystics, so... So this is an attack for 4. Sword Trigger puts you to 1. I don't really think that Eggy has any outs, but we'll have to take a look. The field screwed us in game 1? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was so awkward, and we just didn't have a basic mountain, you know, because we got Field of Ruin, but we didn't have a basic mountain to fetch to be able to cast the red cards in our hand. So, yeah, another copy of Stubborn Denial. That is not going to do it. So round number 1, going to Plechow on Mono White Martyr. Congratulations to Plechow. Thank you, thank you. All right, we are good to go, chat. We are good to go! Apologies for the delay, everybody. But we are good to go. All right. What do we got? Got some Amulet Titan, and then Bailey is playing a green-white company deck, which is pretty interesting. Double Amulet's kind of a tough one, though. We do have a Collected Company, can maybe set up an Infinite Life combo. The only issue is... Okay, question. Can Amulet beat Infinite Life? I think it is, right? I think it can. I would assume so. I would imagine so. Coco into Double Apparition. Yeah, like I guess you can Skyclave one of the amulets, but that's not quite good enough. Dom's just goated with the sauce, you know? Just goated with the sauce. Dom's playing 61? That's awesome. That's based. So double amulet, we got 4 mana here. Could have another Explorer to set up a Titan. Okay. Alrighty then! Sometimes you are just better than your opponent. Sometimes you're just better. Oh, doesn't have the amulet. Oh, or doesn't have the Titan, excuse me. Alright, alright. Does not have the Titan. We got a chance. Question is, do we Coco here? Could Coco and try to hit... Probably Coco, right? Coco try and hit a Vizier. Oh, also, I need to give you guys an extension. How much time is in the round? There is 42, just in case you need it. Hey, Siri. Set a timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
Alright, what did we hit? We hit a Witness and a Devoted Druid. Witness got back the Coco. So we can Skyclave. Probably have to kill the Azusa. Yeah, no point in killing an Amulet here. There's too many of those going on. So we can Coco again next turn to set up maybe the combo. I just kind of hope that Dom bricks on Amulet for a couple of turns, or excuse me, a Titan. I keep saying Amulet. But yeah, once Dom finds a Titan, this game is basically over on the spot. So we're going to Coco. What's our best Coco hit? I guess Vizier... and... I don't even know. Vizier and something that pays you out for... I guess Vizier Duskwatch would have done it, yeah. Because then you can make Infinite Mana Duskwatch a bunch. Is it Siri or Siri? We got... Okay, we hit a Vizier off of the Duskwatch Recruiter. And that's it! Dom has conceded to Infinite Life. That's game number 1. We are moving to sideboarding. Starting game number 2 here, and here's an interesting hand here. We got the banger. We got the banger. The one of... Alright, draw Forest. No 1-drop here from Bailey. Also, no red mana to cast this Magus, so really looking for a fetch land. Yeah, really looking for a fetch land here. It's got Dom with the Amulet Bounce Land start, classic Dom. Also has the Dryad, okay. Didn't pick up the Bounce Land, which leads me to believe probably has a Bounce Land in hand. Bailey's going to really need a red source, and black card is not exactly what we're looking for here, so we'll go with a Devoted Druid, and I guess if you brick on red source, you can cast the Coco, but I believe there's only one copy of Magus, so can't really Coco into another one of those. Ideally, probably looking for a Skyclave apparition at that point to take care of either the Dryad or the Amulet, but yeah, kind of a tough spot here for Bailey. I mean, I guess you could Coco into the win, right, if you hit Vizier plus Duskwatch. Tyler says, can I top 8 at O2? 25 people... Potentially. I think maybe if you 3-2, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Yeah, so we'll have to see what Dom has here. Again, because Dom didn't pick up the bounce land last turn, very likely has a bounce land in hand. Yeah, this is going to be tough. We're going for 3 mana, another Dryad, so bounce land, we can play a bounce land 3 times, which would be 6 mana. Are IDs allowed? I don't remember if I allowed IDs. I don't think I did. I'll have to look in the tournament section after this, but I'm pretty sure I didn't allow IDs. Shadow is really good in this format. I agree. I think Shadow is excellent. Alright, so we're going for a bounce land. Another bounce land. It's 4 mana. So, yeah, we're just going to cast a Titan here. I would assume we have a Titan. This is round 2. Oh, I didn't put up the, I didn't put this up. There. Bailey is up a game. Pithing Needle. Okay, Karn for Needle. Needle's going to name probably Devoted Druid. Yeah, makes sense. So this is a pretty rough spot for Bailey. I guess your ideal Coco is still something like a Skyclave. Could go Coco into Skyclave, like maybe double Skyclave? Double Skyclave hit Karn Needle? Maybe gets you somewhere, but yeah, this is a tough spot for Bailey. I think the format needs a revamped ban list. Like what? I mean, I think the metagame looks pretty... From what I can tell, the metagame looks pretty diverse. The highest represented deck is 3 copies. There's 3 copies of Shadow, which 3 out of 25 is still, like, not that high of a representation, percentage-wise. I think the format looks pretty wide open to me. Okay, Skyclave Vizier, which, alright, if we have the Recruiter, which we know we don't have the Recruiter. Oh, we can Chord! That's game! Yeah, because we have infinite mana, we can Chord for Recruiter. That's game! Yep. Yeah, kill the Needle, Chord for Recruiter, and that'll be the game. Well, there you go. Very, very good draws from both players. You know, Dom kind of had, I guess didn't have the Titan, but had pretty much everything else but the Titan. Alright, we're going to cast the Chord, and that should be enough for Bailey. How do you win without Ballista? No, he has Ballista. So you can Chord for Duskwatch. Duskwatch put every creature into your deck from your deck into your hand, and then eventually find Ballista. So there you go. 2-0 for Bailey. Round number 2. Round number 3. Let's do a little bit of moving things around. Hold on 1 second here. Just gotta resize this real quick. Round number 3. Look at that. Clean. Clean, chat. Clean. All right, what do we got? We have Grixis Shadow against Green White Company. Let's battle. All right, so Eric's hand has some iterations, a drown, and a cantrip. Not necessarily the best start. No threat and no spot removal, no 1-mana removal spells to speak of. So this cantrip's going to have to do a little bit of work. We also, I guess, could have held up drown there, but decided to just play the cantrip instead, and had the okay. We have a Gurmag Angler, so that's a good start. And worth noting, Bailey does not have the Devoted Druid in play, does not have a way to haste the Devoted Druid, so can't really set up a combo from there. Obviously, Collected Company would be a massive card to resolve here. Second Vizier, though, not the best. Have to see what we pick up here. So now the question is, do you go for iteration or do you hold up drown? My instinct is probably hold up drown. Make this a little bit bigger. We are going to go for the iteration. Interesting. Not holding up the drown here. I guess there's only 2 cards in the graveyard, so you figure you can't drown like a Collected Company or a Court of Calling anyways. Finds a Fatal Push, which is not terrible. And again, because Bailey doesn't have the Devoted Druid in play, they're not, Bailey's not threatening the combo yet. So let me just get this up real quick. Do this. This is game 1. Bang, look at that. That looks clean. Let me move it down a little bit. We're going to Fatal Push the Viscera Seer. And I guess we're doing that now. Okay, we're going to cycle the Canopy first to see if we want to find anything. We're going to sack the, basically sacrificing the Canopy first to get it to look at the top card. Wants to see what we're scrying, wants to see what we're drawing off the Canopy before we're deciding what to scry. So we'll see if we have a Company for Bailey here. That's probably the best card we can resolve here. There is a Company. That's a good one. Now, again, worth noting, there is no Devoted Druid already in play, so we can't really set up a combo. Now, Devoted Druid for next turn. Pretty good, but there's a Fatal Push to kill the Devoted Druid. Now, the other thing that we have to consider here is the life total, We got Spicy already down to 7 life here. Thank you, Thronhot. Thank you so much for the 3 months, buddy. I really appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you. This is quite the interesting race here, and also attacking so we can blow up the Kitchen Finks. Okay, so we're going to go after both of the Viziers. So this Kitchen Finks dies, comes back with a -1/-1 counter. Heads up play from Spicy, because if you didn't kill both of the Viziers, the Finks would come back without a -1/-1 counter, so you don't want to set that up. But this is a tough spot. Now, I guess the upside here, or at least the good news for Eric, Spicy Liche, is that there's 2 Viziers in the graveyard, so less likely that we have another one rolled up in hand. We'll have to see what this is. Another Kitchen Finks. That's going to be tough to slog through. Might have been a really good metagame call here from Bailey with this the Kitchen Finks deck, because Kitchen Fink happens to line up very well against Shadow, which is the most represented deck, and Burn, which is tied for the second most represented deck, so very, heads up deck building here from Bailey with these Kitchen Finks in the main deck. I like these a lot. We're deciding on what to discard off of the Shredder. My instinct is land. Yeah, okay. So now we probably just have to play defense. I maybe would have held that Bauble for next turn to trigger the Shredders. It's kind of close. Because at the same time, you are looking for a spot removal spell to be able to answer this Druid as quickly as possible, but oh boy, the Township here is rough. Because that essentially gives us infinite fodder for these Kitchen Finks. Wow, that's going to be tough. And that's the thing, it's like Bailey just has so much inevitability. Now, the one thing, now that we have these 2 Shredders in play, we can maybe try to set up a clock that that Bailey can't block. Right? We have these flyers, Bailey can't really block flyers that well, so what are we casting here? Okay, we're activating Township main phase. Understandable. Found a Gurmag Angler. Not exactly what Liche was looking for. This iteration is going to need a little bit of help. See, we hit. We had a land in the hand and a Thought Scour exiled, so we can lead on that, get 2 leads off the Shredders. Really looking for some Fatal Pushes. Stub, not exactly. And Scalding Tarn, not exactly, so... So we got a Stub and a Gurmag. Not exactly what we're looking for. I mean, I guess we have the Stub to be able to stop a Koko. Question is, do you get him with these Shredders? We're going to leave back the 2-4. Okay, mill the Kroxa, which is not too bad. The only thing about the Kroxa is you can just double block with the Kitchen Finks and then Township to basically reset the Kitchen Finks. So this is going to be really, really tough here for Liche. Try and slog through these 2 Kitchen Finks with the Gavony Township. Yeah, and the fact that this Finks can even attack here because it's 5 power, and it's a forced block. You also don't really want to block it with the Angler, because then it just comes back and gets a counter with the Township, so... Yeah, really, really tough spot. Yeah, the Township is probably the card that's the hardest, because, like, you can maybe fight through the Finks, but it's impossible to fight through the Finks with the Township, so... Alright, we're going for a Kroxa. But again, it's like... This Kroxa is basically just brickwalled by these Kitchen Finks. I don't believe Liche has played a land yet, so you can possibly main phase the Drown to get a loot. I don't know if we have 2 basics, though. Do we even have 2 basics we can fetch? I don't think so. We got some grape juice today. Speaking of which, I gotta buy some juice. Because I need to get a couple of bottles before I go to Atlanta. Attacking with Angler here, interesting. Well, thank you, Tyler. I appreciate the kind words. Given how well this event has done so far, this is not going to be the last one. I plan on doing this again for sure. I think this has gone pretty well so far, and I think it's a lot of fun. So definitely will not be the last one. And you know, we can also talk about like potential like minor changes to the ban list for the next tournament, like if we want to maybe unban a card or something like that. We could talk about that, but I feel like this has gone pretty well so far, so. No, I'm flying to Atlanta. I got a pretty good deal on a flight, so. Yeah, this Township is just so rough for us. Before we're on the same flight, I think my flight leaves out of Boston at like 5:30 or 6. I think it's 5:30 or 6. Check my DMs, just had an intense game too. What'd you send me? Pog. Classic Pete. Classic Pete. Oh no, we gotta go back. I'm sharing Discord. Whoops. Whoops. And I forgot I can't check DMs while I'm sharing screens. The one from Boston goes to Atlanta? Sure, that's fair. Leaked! The DMs have been leaked. Feels bad, man. At least I didn't leak my Atlanta deck list. We can't leak that one. We cannot leak that one. All right, what do we got? Attacking with a 6/5 Kitchen Finks. Yeah, I mean we have to trade for the Angler, but it's just again we just have no chance at beating this Township. I like this deck a lot from Bailey. I think this was a really heads up call. Like the fact that you have Kitchen Finks and Township against the Shadow decks to outgrind them. You have like a turn 3 infinite combo against the unfair decks that you know if they don't have interaction, you're just going to be able to turn 3 them. So, like, I just think this is a really well-built deck from Bailey. Yeah, so we have to drown the Witness, because the Witness can get back Vizier or Coco, or Cord for that matter, so this has to be drowned. I guess the upside is you don't get to activate the Township this turn. Skyclave probably going to take out the Shredder? I'm not even sure. I guess maybe the Kroxa, but I don't think either of these matter, so... No Dress Down Together Undying? Yeah. Alright, Iteration's the best top deck. I don't think it's going to be good enough, though. What's up, Rickman? Alright, we found a Bauble and another Iteration. Again, I don't really think that there's any outs at this point. TBR? No, because we don't have any red sources. There's no basic mountain, so you can't put a red source into play without shocking. Also, even if there was a TBR, there's enough toughness, plus the first strike would let Bailey gain life off of the Finks, so even Temur Battle Rage wouldn't be enough here. It's the same deck before Horizons. How is it well built? I don't think people were playing Kitchen Finks and Gavony Township as much. Like, I don't think people were playing this exact deck before Horizons. Not that I recall. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure this, like, wasn't really that much of a deck before Horizons. Maybe I'm misremembering things, but... Okay, Fatal Push the Noble Hierarch. Play a Shadow. Okay. Alright, so not dead. Can block 3 things. And maybe actually might have enough if there's a TBR off the top here. And you could even go Shredder Fatal Push to get a loot. 2 loots to find the TBR. Green-White Heliod. This isn't a Heliod deck. There's no Heliods in this deck list. The deck lists are here. These are the deck list, chat. Not a Heliod in sight. Alright, 2 white. We draw a Skyclave, potentially? Green-white. What do we got? 3 mana. Witness? We're thinking. Kitchen Finks? Okay. Let's do some math on TBR here. Is there a lethal attack if a TBR is drawn? So, assuming you go Shredder Push... Okay, that's interesting. You probably have to start with Shredder. And then I think you want to just push the Druid? Kind of close. You could drown the Druid. But I kind of want to hold on to the drown, just in case you brick. You can hold the drown for a Coco. Okay, we want to drown the Skyclave. Interesting. See if we find the TBR. Found a Shadow. Not quite enough. This is a really tight game. I thought Bailey was in the, just easily in the driver's seat here, but I think TBR is very, very close to lethal. We get a thing there, then we can play another Shadow. We can certainly attack with the Shredder this turn. That's 5 damage. Attacking with the Shadow. I don't know if I love that attack. Because it just gets chump blocked and then the Township gets activated, right? I think there's almost no point in attacking with the Shadow. Boggles will not be in the top 8. You lied to me, Tater Tot. You said that you were going to win the tournament. Yeah, chat, what does this Shadow attack accomplish? I'm not sure it accomplishes anything, right? I feel like it's just the Shredder, put Bailey to 10. I mean, you can even just TBR the Shredder at this point, right? If you just put Bailey to 10 and you draw TBR, you just TBR the Shredder. Township would tap them out. Sure, I guess that's fair. So if you put them in a spot where they want to activate Township and they draw Coco, they can't do that. So I guess that's fair. It does make them use a lot of mana. Insanely well played game by Spicy, by the way. I thought this game was so over. Very extremely well played by Spicy. Maybe Shadow's too good in Pure Modern? Question mark? Jeez. All bangers. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you cast 3 expressive iterations, but... Oh, this is cut off a little bit. Let me just go back here. That looks better. Alright, 2-turn clock from the Shredder. And now you definitely don't attack with the Shadow, because the Shredder's a 2-turn clock. If you attack with the Shadow, you give him 2 life and all that stuff, so... I think Expressive is too good in Pure, not Shadow. Maybe. Maybe Expressive is the card. I could see that. I would not be surprised if Expressive Iteration was out of bounds. Card's always just very, very good. Like, it's honestly arguable that, you know, maybe Expressive was too much even as current Modern stands, but... Yeah, when you dilute the power level quite a bit, Expressive Iteration is... Expressive is a lot, you know. Yeah, if it weren't for the Shredder, the green-white deck would look... It would be a much different game, for sure. Yeah, it was a standard set card. Banded Pioneer. It's not Banded Legacy, right? Day 0 event talking about balance. I mean, it's always a conversation, right? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just chatting. I'm just commenting on the games that I've watched. 5 rounds. Do I think EI should have been Banded Pioneer? I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure about that. Alright, what do we got? 4 mana, Coco. That gets drowned, and the game is over. Crazy. Very, very well played by Spicy Leche. Extremely well played. Oh, can you force a game 2 off of the Sphinx? I guess you can, right? No, you chump with the 1/3. Right? You chump with the 1/3, chump with the 2/2, and you just don't give the you just don't give Bailey life. Why are we giving Bailey another turn? I'm confused. Couldn't you just chump with the 1/3 and the 2/2 and then attack for 5? Okay, well we drew bolt anyways, so it didn't matter, but gotcha. Alright, game 1, going to our Shadow player, Spicy Leche. We'll get some sideboarding, and as soon as they're done sideboarding, we will get to game number 2. Grixis Shadow up a game over our Green-White Collected Company player. Got a pretty good hand from the Shadow player. Couple Aether Gust to handle Cocos and Court of Callings and the like. Stubborn Denial can also handle those cards as well. No spot removal, though, which is interesting. No Fatal Push, no Lightning Bolt, so we'll have to see how this plays out. Do have a Shredder on turn 2. Worth noting that there is not a mana creature in play, so it does not have to fear a turn 3 Coco, which means most likely we're going to see Leche tap out for this Ledger Shredder. Almost certainly. Because you're not really fearing a ton of stuff here that you're going to be able to stub. I guess you could Gust at Kitchen Finks, but I'd rather just get the Shredder developed here, which makes a lot of sense. A couple of fetches for this Gurmag. Next turn, you're going to be able to hold up Stub Gust, Drown, Witness back a land. Okay. Alright, there's the Fatal Push. I don't know if you want to fire that off now. Like, the question is, do you want this Recruiter to flip? I feel like you probably don't, because if the Recruiter flips, you can start attacking, but maybe that's fine. I don't know, it's kind of close. I could go either way here, whether or not you push the Recruiter. It appears that Leche is going to pass. Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I like attacking. So we'll see if Bailey activates the Recruiter in upkeep. Does not. Okay. Oh, okay, so I guess, what was the point of passing? Interesting. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to pass there. I guess, like, you're giving Bailey the opportunity to upkeep activate it, but Oh, right, because if he gusts something... Okay, sure. If a gust is cast... Yeah, I gotcha. Right. Because then if you gust something, you get to trigger the Shredder. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Alright, shocking here to be able to hold up double counterspell. Doesn't quite have enough cards in the graveyard to go Angler, hold up a 2-mana spell. Could Angler and hold up Stub, which is interesting, but I feel like if you maybe get to fire off a Gust here, like, perfect scenario is you fire off a Gust and draw a fetch land, then you can go 1-mana Angler and still hold up 2 more 2-mana counter spells, which is pretty good, so. Looks like Bailey's gonna go for a Chord here, Chord for 2. Yeah, I like gusting this. Well, I guess this is fine, right? Because you gust this, and then if a Coco is drawn, like, even if Bailey goes land Coco, you can just gust the Coco. And Bailey did put the Chord on the bottom. Okay. Vatis is perfect here. Let's see if we can take a look at what Bailey's working with. Show me the goods. Wouldn't you just stub it? The thing about stub is it's more mana efficient later down the line, so I kind of like holding on to the stub. So, like, you just want to use more of your mana while you can. So yeah, we get to go stub, trigger, discard the backup Angler. Now the question is, you get to take a peek at Bailey's hand, which can't quite see the contents. Alright, there is a Finks, a Magus, and a Vizier. Not the best hand here for Bailey. Not the best hand here for Bailey. Yeah, so we're going to go attack with Shredder and hold up the Drown/Stub. I like that. If the Finks is cast, do you even gust it? Probably not. You probably just let the Finks resolve. I feel like you want to save Gust for maybe a top deck Coco or Chord. But I have to see. So the Witness puts us to 7. Not terribly threatening. I feel like you probably let this go. Oh, we wanted to check and see if IDs were allowed. I don't remember. I don't know what happened to the check-in and the submit results page after the buy, but I can't submit results. Really? I think I can submit the result for you, but... Melee is very, very weird. Oh no, it shows that the... Yeah, it shows you're good. You're good. The result's already submitted. I think you can't do it because your opponent submitted the result. Alright, I wanted to see if I allowed IDs. I don't think I did. Advanced options. No, draws are not enabled. You gotta play it out, chat. You gotta play it out. I don't like draws in tournaments like these. You gotta play it out. Alright, what happened? What did I miss? We did some shredding. Some Thoughtsseizing. Alright, Bailey's at 11. What happened to the Finks? Did we... Okay, so we gusted the Finks. I don't hate that. Hop into the voice chat. Any wild brews yet? Yeah, we're watching one. I think Bailey's deck is... I don't know if it's necessarily a wild brew, but not one that I expected for sure. It was not on my radar. We had a creativity deck. What else did we have? We have the Ice Nine special... I mean, you know, some other stuff that you would expect. There was, like, Rakdos midrange from Dingo. We had a Temur Delver deck, which is pretty sweet. Mono Green Devotion, Esper Fairies, Mono White Martyr, and then some Prowess, some Burn, some Shadow, some Amulet, some Dredge, some Tron. Bad white deck has been called. Alright, well, Vizier Druid, but we do have the Drown to answer to kind of break up that combo. Yeah, we're doing this through MTG Melee. All right, Otter, did you go into the call? I can't watch it because I'm already in a voice call, but hopefully somebody in the Discord can help you figure it out. All right. So got Shadow, Looting, discard Angler. We still have double Drown up, so Drown can take care of one of the combo. And that is going to do it. Spicy Leche taking down our green-white Collected Company player. 3-0. Very, very good start for Shadow. Congratulations. All right, let's play the game of can George win a game in 4 minutes? It was a gentleman's agreement? Yeah, that's fair. Anyone has a fun Modern deck I can play at decks that don't play like every other deck in Modern? I honestly, Tug, I got nothing for you. George listened to me. George said def in the chat. All right, bet. All right, let's see. 3 minutes and 50 seconds, chat. I mean, my answer is probably Rhinos, but I know you probably don't enjoy playing Rhinos. Maybe. You know what? Actually, not Tugga, you would probably enjoy playing the Zoo deck. I feel like you'd probably enjoy playing the Zoo deck, right? If you go to Michael Rapp on Twitter, I think it's Rapacious One at Rapacious One. Go check out their Twitter. They actually beat me in the top 8 of an RCQ, and they eventually won the RCQ with the 5-color Zoo deck. It's probably a sweet deck. Yeah, go check him out. He beat me in top 8. Soundly defeated me in top 8. And he went on to win that RCQ. No, George is not playing Binding, which I'm actually kind of surprised. I wonder why George decided not to play Binding. I thought like the blue-white control decks would just insta-play Binding, but... Alright, so we egoed the Tron land. So T-Spain's playing on hard mode, but I guess George is also playing on hard mode, so... I guess, you know what? I don't actually need a round timer, right? Because the Moto does the round timer for you. So what's the point of even having a round timer? So people have an idea, I guess. Sure, I guess that's fair. But yeah, we're using the Moto clocks. That's why we're doing it in tournament practice too, because they do 50-minute clocks. So easier to streamline, less reason for binding when you remove all the other push cards. Well, the thing about that statement that I kind of disagree with you is I don't think Binding is necessarily even good against Ragavan. Like, you can't cast Binding. Like, if you're on the draw against Ragavan and you have Binding, that doesn't do anything. Like, it's bad. The card's bad against Ragavan on the draw. It's only good on the play. So I don't think that, like, no Ragavan is a reason to not play Binding, you know? I don't think that's a good argument. This is pure Modern go to sleep. Pure Modern. Modern without Horizon sets. Yo, that's a Thragtusk! Poggers in the chat. Cryptic Command targeting Thragtusk. This is what Pure Modern is all about. I'm tweeting this out right now. I'm just tweeting this out right now. Just this. Just this, yeah. Dual decks. Thragtusk versus Sphinx's Revelation. Cryptic Command targeting Thragtusk. You love to see it. Been here way too many times. Rev wins. There's only 2.5 minutes on George's clock, so... How many Siege Ride on the field? 0, unfortunately. Oh, I haven't done any Gambas. Why haven't I done any Gambas yet? I just forgot. Alright, we're doing a Gamba for next round, 100% for our feature match. I keep forgetting to do Gambas. Yeah, channel point bets. predictions. George said I accidentally mulled my 7. Whoops. My prediction is finals will be Titan versus Shadow. That makes sense. I can see that. I was thinking Shadow versus Humans. God, that would be such a sick finals. Although, I do think that Shadow is, like, traditionally not that great against humans, but... Yeah, Relic is very good versus Clock. Relic is like undefeated versus the Clock. Are people saying Rakdos and Mono Green are an issue? I don't think Rakdos is an issue. I do maybe think with Brothers War, I think Mono Green is potentially an issue, but we're going to see how Atlanta plays out. I think that there is going to be a lot of decks played in Atlanta that people are not expecting. And I think you will kind of see that in the metagame share. I actually expect, like, even if Mono Green is a decent percentage of the field, I expect a lot of people, basically everybody in the event, is going to have a very good plan against Mono Green, you know? So, 2 people playing Dredge, Ryan. I don't think Dredge is doing that well, though. I think people came prepared for Dredge. It's going to be like 20% mono green. Yeah, but I don't expect there to be a ton of mono green at the top table. Like, when we get to the end of the event, I actually think that people are going to, like... I think mono green's going to have a poor showing. Maybe not a poor showing, but, like, there's obviously going to be some in top cut, but, you know. No oops all spells now. I dropped it 1-2 after getting the buy. Yikes. Does that make creativity playable in Atlanta? Well, you have to dodge mono green in the first couple rounds, so... Like, if you're playing creativity, you are still going to lose to mono green if they stone brain you, you know? Like, you have to accept that you can't beat the stone brain. Which I actually picked up a copy yesterday, by the way. I got a stone brain. I got a cityscape leveler. I got the untapper. I forgot what that card's called, but I got all the cards I needed for potentially if I do play mono green. I don't think I'm going to, but I picked up a bunch of bro stuff yesterday. Some stuff that I can't elaborate on, but your pre-release promo was the Stone Brain. Feels good, man. Get spell snared. How does control win at a minute 30? I mean, there's a Jason play. There is a Jason play. What's in Atlanta? The regional championship. But I'm playing LCQs because I'm not actually qualified. I'm traveling to Atlanta to play qualifiers because I'm a psychopath. But I don't know yet, Togek. I have another secret list. I have too many secret lists now. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have too many secret lists. I can't decide between all of them. Cannot confirm or deny, but yeah, Atlanta's next week. I'm leaving on Thursday. All right, George has got 1 minute on the clock. Jace versus Jason a dream, as the kids say. Jason a dream. Yeah, when the lists are secret. March of Otherworldly Light. What do you think, chat? Type 1 in the chat if you think George can win, and type a 2 if you think George is going to lose. All right, I think mostly 2s. It's like kind of close. Arn, the Great Creator. Karen, the Great Creator. If Taylor doesn't concede to the J-Salt, the game is going to go on long enough. I mean, if the J-Salts, you can just spam F6, right? You just go J-Salt, remove all yields. Like, I think once you get the J-Salt, you're fine. As long as, like, you know, there's maybe not a threat resolved, but... Am I allowed to get an invite in Canada? We had a 42-person face-to-face event 2 weeks ago that gave out 16 slots. I think the way that works is if I qualify in Canada, I have to play in the regional in Canada. I think that's how that works, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just gonna play in. I'm just gonna play in the U.S. Because then I have to like travel to Canada for a qualifier, hopefully spike it, and then travel back and travel. It's just no, this too much. I'm not going to travel 8 hours to play a qualifier. Like, drive 8 hours, you know. I guess I am flying to Atlanta to play qualifiers, but... Alright, so we're going to counter the Karn, ultimate the Jace, and F6 to our heart's desire. This is an intense game right here. This is quite the intense game. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is MTGO. You know, this is what MTGO is about. Host Lee's monthly, please. I'm thinking about it. George, F6. George, F6. F6, please. I can't. My heart can't take this, George. Oh, okay. He is F6'd. Okay, I think we're on T-Spain. Yeah, George is F6'd. Okay, we're good. I think we got it, chat. I think we got it. F6. We are good to go. We did it! We did it. That was a sick game, yeah. 8 seconds on the clock. Alright, we are good to go. Alright, humans against amulets. Let's do a little gamba. I'm going to start a prediction. Start prediction. Who wins? Humans, amulets. 2 minutes. Vote now. Gamba is live. Gamba is live. Humans or amulet, chat? Who you got? Well, thank you, Super Falcon. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you. I'm glad you enjoyed the Cyborg Guide. I hope you crush it with that deck. Alright, so we have a turn 2 Mantis Rider here from our humans player. What does Titan lose from Horizon sets? It loses Urza's Saga and Force of Vigor, I think, are the 2 main ones. We got a turn 2 Dryad from the Amulet player. What else we got? Elvish Reclaimer. Interesting. So we got some Elvish Reclaimer in the Titan deck. Very, very interesting. So that can find bounce lands. I'm sure there's plenty and plenty of tutor targets. Plenty of tutor targets. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I will drop a link to all of the deck lists below in the comment section. So if you want to check out what this Elvish Reclaimer deck is doing, you can definitely check that out. So what do we got here? Casting a Kitesail Freebooter, trying to see if we can hit a Summoner's Pact. There is a Temple Garden, a Sun Home, a Primeval Titan, and a Gargaroth. So not exactly what you want to see from the humans player. But for newspaper here, maybe we could draw a copy of Reflector Mage to eventually... Oh, what happened to the Discord? Alright, we're good. Alright, so oh yeah, we're just going to Meddling Mage. Now the question is, do you name Primeval Titan or Gargaroth? Okay, we're going to go with Gargaroth. So there's no bounce land, right? Temple Garden, Sun Home. So if you play Temple Garden, Sun Home, you won't be able to set up the Titan. Yeah, Gargaroth is good. Info for Mage, though? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Info for Mage was good, for sure. But it's really tough here, you know? Like, I guess we can image... Okay, we can image the Meddling Mage next turn as long as we dodge Titan this turn. So as long as there's no bounce land off the top for Amulet, then we can dodge the Primeval Titan and try to get the Meddling Mage into play, naming the Primeval Titan. The issue here is this Reclaimer can find Valakut. Now maybe that's a little too slow, but we'll have to see. So this is 5 mana. You can go sack. Yeah, so probably just get Valakut here. So the leftover for the Amulet player is the Primeval Titan, the Gargaroth, and the one unknown card. Reclaimer gets a bounce land. Well, for now, for this turn, that's break even on mana, right? Because you can go tap, float 2 mana, tap sack, use 2 mana. It's just a blank. Well, not a blank, but yeah, Reflector Mage is a massive top deck here. So you go Image on the Meddling Mage, name Primeval Titan, and the question is, do you cast the Reflector Mage? Yeah, you probably just bounce the Dryad and shove with everything, right? Because bouncing the Dryad means that you can't get Valakuted next turn. So yeah, I like that. Yep, yeah, Reflector the Dryad, send for 6. Put Lagos to 6. Because the Reclaimer can't even profitably block. Yeah, this is a rough spot. Rough spot for our Titan player. Made it to the quarterfinals of an RCQ with Atarka Red. I think that red-green vehicle is an even better choice to red-black mid-range meta, for sure, yeah. Atarka Red versus Rakdos is kind of tough, but 4 mana? What are we casting for 4 mana? Oh, I did not see that. I did not see that. That is an incredible line. I didn't see that. Yeah, so now you can just, well, you still shove with everything. Wait, not attacking with the mage? Isn't that just missed damage? Definitely should have attacked with everything there. Reclaimer's only at 1/2. I can't see a reason to not attack with everything. Amulet missed Titan, I guess, last turn. How did they miss Titan last turn? Well, they could Titan this turn, but... So the Titan player activated Sunhome, which gives a target creature double strike until end of turn, and because they targeted the Phantasmal Image, it basically killed the Phantasmal Image, which unlocked the Primeval Titan. So very, very heads-up play from the Amulet player, for sure. So now we get to Primeval Titan, probably get a Haste Land, and attack with the Titan. We are not getting a Haste Land. Huh. I guess... Does that mean they... Oh, that must have mean that they drew the Slayers, right? Okay, Meddling Mage for Dryad maybe can buy you some time, because that means that you don't get shotgunned down by the Valakut. Yeah, it's got to be Slayers in hand. So you can go attack for... I guess attack for 4? And then you can Meddling Mage name Dryad. Reclaimer Call Me. Sure, I guess that's fair. Yeah. So you go Meddling Mage, have to name the Dryad because the Valakut's in play. And obviously the Titan can get more Valakuts. So it's going to be an interesting race. I guess the Sunhome really messes up the math for humans here. Because, like, we can't really race the Sunhome. Maybe there's a world where we can just kind of send with everything next turn. So this puts us to 6. And we know there's a Dryad and a Gargaroth in hand. We actually probably know the Amulet player's hand, right? Because we assume they have a Slayers in hand. I feel like it's safe to assume the Slayers is in hand, because you could just go Garrison Slayers, haste, and then still get the Fountain of the Valakut on the attacks. So I would imagine the hand right now is probably Gargaroth, Dryad, Slayers. We're sacrificing Boseiju. What are we going to get with the Reclaimer here? Maybe this is going to get... Maybe... I guess you don't want to get other Valakuts. T-West. Okay, so we can attack with Titan, pick up T-West. Could have a blue bounce land in hand, go float with T-West, blue bounce land, float, pick up T-West. I wonder... See if we... I'm going to take a look at the Amulet deck list to see if there's a copy of Explosives in the main deck. We have 1 copy of Explosives in the main deck, so that's what Amulet's trying to set up here. Which I assume we can just set that up here, right? If you have... Yeah, because you can go get the blue bounce land with Reclaimer. Yeah, get the blue bounce land, float 2. Yeah, this should be good. You go that, 2 mana, pick up T-West, transmute, tap Celestia Sanctuary, play the explosives for 2, tap 2 mana, crack the explosives, attack with Titan, get Valakut bounce land, or maybe even Valakut Vesuva, post-combat, play the Dryad, play the other land. So yeah, this should be enough. Tell me there's a Pact of Negation. I don't think there's a Pact of Negation. No Pact of Negation. No Pact of Negation in the sideboard either. There is a Hornet-Queen in the sideboard, though. 2 Fire Spout. That's rough in this matchup. Yeah, so we're looking at sideboard cards. We're looking at 2 Fire Spouts, 2 Dismembers, 2 Explosives. That's a lot from the Amulet side. And then from Jacob's side, humans, we got 2 Magus of the Moon, 2, I guess, Anointed Peacekeepers probably coming in, and then maybe Dismember to take care of Dryad, potentially Liberator too. So, we'll have to see. There you go. Look at that. Just smooth transition. Alright, so we mulled the 7. Our 6 has a Vial and some 3-drops. This is... I mean, it's a hand you probably have to keep, but it's really not what Jacob is looking for. So this is kind of a tough one. Looks like we're going to keep both Peacekeepers. Interesting. Might have wanted to keep Peacekeeper Reflector Mage, but kind of close. I could see either way. Alright, we got a Vial. Yeah, maybe next time I'll try and see if there's a way that I can get both players to screen share. But, like, I can't be in 2 Discord calls at once, so I'd have to have, like, 2 instances of Discord open. It's just, like, it's a lot more difficult. But, I know, it's a lot better when you can see both hands. One's better than none, I will say that, though. Second copy of Aether Vial, that's kind of tough. Just have been the same call. Yeah, but then you get to, like, well, people can see each other's hands, and it gets kind of awkward. But we are going to dismember the Reclaimer. Is there flagstones? I'm kind of assuming there's flagstones, but I just wanted to take a look here. We have 2 copies of flagstones, which, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's like, you know, we're featuring a player, you know? Kind of like what sometimes what they do at the Pro Tours, where they're like, they have a specific person that they do limited, right? They go over limited, they watch the draft, and then they're like, we're going to feature this player throughout the draft and stuff like that, so. Alright, drew the land to be able to play the Peacekeeper. Let's see if we can take a look. So the hand, I didn't quite get a glimpse of it. We named Dryad. Unfortunately, the hand doesn't show up here. I wish it did, but have to imagine there's a copy of Dryad in the hand. You want to get into running tournaments, you should talk to Jeff Hooglin. He was running a tournament series for a short while with amazing coverage. Well, Hooglin banned me, so. I don't know. I think we've already broken that bridge. Or burned that bridge. Probably broken it, too. Yes, medium oof. Yeah, apparently there are people that exist that Jeff Hooglin has not banned. Or blocked, not banned. Adeline's actually a pretty good draw step. Gives us a lot of pressure here, which is nice. And it looks like there was a Dryad in hand, so that one's going to be off limits for a while. I mean, this is a lot of pressure. This is a decent start from Jacob. Now, I probably want to draw step the Peacekeeper. Not gonna draw step it. Interesting. I guess the worst case scenario is like explosives, which North Lagos can't even play on 3 anyways, so. Is this Pioneer Humans with Aether Vial? Aether Vial's messed up. I am pumped for Obliterating Bolt, yes. Yeah, I'll actually, after this match, after we're done commentating this match, I'll show you my my updated red-green list for Atlanta. If I play red-green, that is. Alright, so I'll tell you the hand contains 2 Dryads, a Hornet-Queen, an Explosives, a Summoner's Pact, and a Primeval Titan. That is what Jacob is looking at here. So, not the best hand from our Amulet player. Pretty slow start here. Honestly, even if Dryad was castable, it's like, Dryad's not doing that much. There's 6 spells in hand, there's no lands, so... Yeah, very, very clunky hand from Amulet. We're gonna name Fire Spout, makes sense, because we have open deck lists, so... Even the Fire Spout, though, you have to draw a Red Source and a Fire Spout, like, this game just feels over. Yeah, Bolt's great. Do you like the 2-mana 3/3 Bailey? The reason I like that card so much is a 2-drop that doesn't die to Bone Crusher. I think it's just better than Ooze. It has an ability, but I think more so just being a 2-drop that, like, pressures and doesn't die to Bone Crusher is pretty huge. Drew a Meddling Mage, that's pretty good. I don't know if we really needed the Meddling Mage, but... Alright, I assume... Is this lethal? 3, 6... So it's 5, 6, 9, 12, 14, 1 point short, but... Don't really think that the Amulet player has any outs here, so should be good. I guess, like, worst case scenario is what? Red Source Explosives, but that's not even enough. You E for 3 and you're still dead. You still have 3 lethal creatures, so... I mean, humans could be about to be 4-0. Alright, we're going to game number 3. Let me update the record feature for you. There we go. Game 3. Is this the first game 3 we've seen on camera? I think it is. I feel like all of our other feature matches have been 2-0. Alright, here we go. Game 3. Let's see who the predictors. Are we going to pay the believers or the doubters? So we have an interesting hand here. I think it's a good hand. No Aether Vial, but you do have Land Noble Hierarch with double Reflector Mage and Meddling Mage, so I think this hand's probably a keep. One thing that's really nice about the Peacekeepers is Peacekeeper reveals the hand for Meddling Mage, so you kind of have, like, Peacekeeper and Freebooter to be able to give you information on Meddling Mage, so... I think the stand's a keep from Jacob. It's hard to ship this one. And our Amulet player also kept 7, kind of scary. It's just exclamation point pure modern. I like that you put the what is, though. Alright, drew a land, not the best. What's our best draw here from the humans player? Okay, no bounce land from Amulet. Maybe a second Amulet, perhaps? Okay, no second Amulet. No, this is round 4. So it's 5 rounds, cut the top 8. 25 players, I believe. I think it was 25 players. Reflector Mage the Reclaimer. It's a decent tempo play. Yeah, exactly, Dustin. You get it, you get it. Yeah, this is round 4. This is a 3-0 match. Both these players are 3-0. So this is table 1. Alright, so we drew a Dismember. So question is, do we Reflector Mage or do we Dismember? I feel like you probably just Reflector Mage. You could also go Dismember and Meddling Mage Reclaimer, but I don't really think you want a Meddling Mage Reclaimer anyways, so fairly certain you just want to play the Reflector Mage. I think so. That's probably where I would lean. It's kind of close though. Interesting decision here. So we're actually going to Meddling Mage. Now, I don't think that you care about the... probably don't care about the Reclaimer, so you probably just name... Are you supposed to name Fire Spout here? Name Primeval Titan. You probably... Yeah, okay. Just hope that they don't have Fire Spout. I kind of like this play. It is an absolute disaster if there's a Fire Spout, though, but maybe you just accept your fate. Why not Mage Titan? I'm worried about Fire Spout, but it's pretty close. It's a really, really close call between Titan and Fire Spout. Okay, we know there's no Fire Spout because they would have played that before the Garden, so breathe a sigh of relief here if you're a newspaper. No 4th land. Yeah, that's true. Is it explosives? It feels like an explosives. Yeah, E for 2. Okay. So that can blow up the Meddling Mage. I guess the good news for humans... Okay, that's not a bad draw. I was going to say the good news for humans is that there's not 2 mana available, so you can't see something like End of Turn, Pop Explosives, Untap, Bounce Land, Titan. So at least, I believe we are 1 turn... At least we get 1 more turn of reprieve from the Titan. Now the question is, do you cast the Reflector Mage? I think what you're supposed to do is just cast the Adeline and shove. Because, like, what are you Reflector Maging? I guess you Reflector Mage the Reclaimer? But I wonder if you want to save that for another Dryad. I guess you're in a bad spot versus Dryad anyways, because if you just go Dryad double land, that turns on Valakut, so... Kind of a rough spot if there's Valakut either way. 3 mana. Is this the Fire Spout? This would be a disaster. Well, we know they didn't have Fire Spout last turn, because they would have just cast it last turn, right? Okay, there's the Dryad. So Dryad, land, land. Now the Dryad's live, and this is kind of why I wanted to save the Reflector Mage. No land, though. Okay, that is very, very good for the humans player. No block. Maybe they wanted to save the plant token to be able to block a bigger creature, but... Yeah, we have a very, very different sequence of events here. We have no lands for the Amulet player and all lands for the humans players, so... Tough one. So I guess you can get in with the 2 Reflector Mages. Dryad blocks one of them, you get in 3 damage. Which I guess is not terrible. Really need a good card off the top here. Wonder what the best draw is. I guess maybe Lieutenant? It's kind of close. A metric I want to see from the VOD is the amount of turns per game with formats like these. Yeah. I mean, I feel like most of the feature matches we've had, with I think the exception of the last match, which was the Shadow versus... That Shadow versus Green White Company match was freaking awesome. That match was so good. That match was probably the highlight of the event so far. That was a good match. At least Game 1 was good. Game 2 maybe not so much, but that Game 1 was so awesome. Alright, what do we got? 3 mana. The Adeline does represent quite a clock. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fire Spout deals 4, right, chat? I believe Fire Spout deals 4. Or is it 3? I can't remember. Is it 3? Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen a Fire Spout cast. Okay, well, there's the Fire Spout. So we get to keep the Adeline, I guess, but... Yeah, this is kind of rough. Yep, and there's the Reclaimer, too. Chef Whedon, thank you for the 4 months. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a good day today. No other tribal decks besides humans. Yeah, no elves, no goblins. Humans was the only tribal deck. Dismember. Which is not awful. Actually, that's pretty good, right? Because you can dismember the Dryad and get in with the Adeline. I mean, it gets in 2 damage, right? Yeah, Goblins using Matron is kind of tough. Dismember Reclaimer, GG. Can't you just kill the Dryad? Why do you want to kill the Reclaimer? I feel like you have to kill the Dryad here, right? Because if you don't kill the Dryad, you can't attack. Like, you have to get some amount of damage in, I think. Reclaimer gets Karoo, Karoo makes Titan. Aren't they still short? 2 mana, sack a land, get Karoo, 2 mana, 3, 4. Oh, because Karoo picks itself up. You're right. Okay. That's a good point. Yeah. No, but there's a land drop too. So you go, because it's break even, right? You go tap 2 mana, sack a land, get bounce land, untap, float mana, 4 mana total, right? Pick up the bounce land, replay bounce land, 6 mana, play Titan, GG. Because there haven't been a land drop played. So, Sidana is correct. We will be seeing a Primeval Titan here. Probably sack the forest. Yeah. Sacrifice forest, get a bounce land. And we do know that there's a Titan in hand, right? I don't remember. I guess we don't know there's a Titan in hand because this wasn't the Peacekeeper game, but we can kind of assume there's probably a Titan in there hiding out. Yeah. 4 mana, play bounce land, play Titan. Now, I will say, North Lagos is at 6. So if a Reflector Mage were to come off the top, does that do anything for us? It's still not lethal, right? It's only 4 damage. So, even if there's no additional blocker. Which you could even get, like, you could go Haste Land, Garrison, Haste the Titan. I don't know what that is, but you could go Garrison, Haste Land, Haste the Titan, attack with Titan, get Vesuva, Copy Garden, Radiant Fountain. So, North is on the double strike land, yeah. 1-3 should have played green white. Yeah, I know, right? All right, there is the Titan. Vesuva into Copy Garden there somewhere. Yeah, probably. All right, so we did go for Hasteland Garrison. Yeah, and I'm guessing probably get Radiant Fountain Vesuva. Picked up the Garden, though. Interesting. Because we've already played a land, right? So now we can't Vesuva the Garden. Mantis Rider is lethal. Oh, yeah. The Mantis Rider would have been lethal, but the Titan has Vigilance, so. Newspaper's on 12. Yeah, but we don't have enough to get to activate the Haste land, or to activate the Double Strike land. We have enough mana. Chef Seth, take it easy, have a good night. Or a good afternoon, I guess. It's actually pretty early. Take it easy. Thank you for playing. Thank you for participating, Chef. I hope you had a great time. Magus at the top for humans. Well, there's 2 forests, so. I believe we are done. Yeah. That's a smart play from Lagos. Just getting the second forest and not die to Magus. Yeah, rough draws for the humans player. You know, Jacob did have, like, a pretty decent start, but obviously just, drawing all these lands are just not going to help, so. Rough draws.